Hey guys, Keely Reason here, owner of Love Hope Adventure, where I talk about the marriage, relationship, intimacy, and marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. Today I'm answering a reader question about how his wife has put on weight and he's really struggling. He says, my wife has no interest in sex at all. She's always been heavy, but now she's 50 pounds more and she's only 5 foot tall. It's hard to look at how fat she is now. She has a lot of health issues, from back and hip problems to a hernia. I will never cheat on her, but we're in our mid-60s and I'm not ready to be a monk. We used to have a good sex life until I went through problems with my sex drive, which shots of testosterone every 2 weeks has made a difference. Also, I lost 25 pounds. I don't know what to do. Okay, there's so much going on here. It's very hard to address everything, right? Because we only know what's going on from the husband's perspective. A couple of things. If you're in your mid-60s, your wife could be also dealing with some hormone issues. I mean, you've had that yourself, right? You said that you had good sex until you had sex problems with your drive, and then you had to do testosterone shots, and now you're better. God loved testosterone shots, right? It helps a lot of men and women too, if they have low testosterone, get back. It can create some problems, though, on the other side, if one spouse is getting the hormone replacement therapy that they need, but the other spouse isn't. So now they feel better. Their hormones are back in check and more balanced, and they're feeling excited and normal again. But maybe the other spouse is in a position where they need to have some hormone replacement as well. So there is a possibility that your wife may have some hormone imbalances she's also dealing with. Now, there's probably a lot of reasons why she is not interested in sex. Her health problems, weight gain, age, if she's got back, hip problems, a hernia, maybe there's pain here, and you all are in a different phase of your life where having intimacy and having sex is going to change. It'll change positions, the way everything feels, what kind of assistance you need as far as additional support with maybe some sex pillows or something else that will help you to get into positions that make sense for you. So for one, I would definitely speak to your wife about what the hangups are. Like, just in a general curiosity, hey, I want to know what's going on with you way. Not, I need sex, you're not giving me sex, why aren't you giving me sex? But in a, I know you've had a lot of changes. We're in our mid-60s. We have a lot of life left to live. What do you hope for? What do you hope our retirement years are going to look like? And what are ways that we can work together on reaching that? And how can I help you? And here's what I'm hoping for in our later years. This is the kind of things I would love to do. Look, we're not spring chickens anymore. We're not going to be able to be as flexible as we once were. But what can we do together to keep this intimacy? And I'm not talking about just from a sexual perspective. I am talking about from a life perspective. The two of you are entering into your golden years. And what is your hope and desire for that? What is her hope and desire for that? See where you both have similar hopes and desires and where you guys might be a little different, right? When your wife knows, wife, husband, either way, whoever I'm talking with, when they know that you really care about them emotionally, where they are with their emotions, with their thought processes, meeting them where they are, that really goes a long way. And I encourage you to be genuine with her about what your hope is and what her hope is, and find out what you both can do together to reach those goals. You've obviously had some health issues yourself that you've overcome. Maybe she's feeling stuck. Maybe she feels like she can't get past these health issues. And support from you will really go a long way. Not blame, not, I can't believe you've let yourself get this way, or I definitely would not share with her that you're having a hard time with how much weight she's put on. I think there's a part of you that actually has a problem with this because you feel like she's neglecting her health. And I'm going to assume you've been in a long-term relationship with her, and it is very hard for a spouse to watch their partner deteriorate and not invest in their health. And I think that part of what's happening here is that the weight gain that she has put on is just sending signs to you that she isn't taking care of herself, and you feel like she's not taking care of herself. She's letting herself get this way, and that's impacting our relationship, and then that isn't fair to me. So, what can you do to support her? What can you do to help her overcome what's happening right now? Now, as far as not feeling like you can look at her because she's getting so large and now you're growing this resentment. Oh my goodness, she's putting on all this weight. She's becoming less mobile and she's got all these health problems and she's just making that worse. I would encourage you to look at other things about her that you love and focus on those things. In the times when you all are having sex, if she will have sex with you at any point, and I know you say she doesn't have any interest, but I don't know from this comment whether or not you ever have sex. While you are intimate with her, when that does happen, focus your mind on all the things you love about her as a person. This way, you start training yourself to have a sexual response to her as a person, not just like in the moment what her body does or doesn't look like, or the position, or what you're visually seeing. But start thinking about, what do I love about this person? Do I love the kind of wife she is? I don't know if she's a mom, if you guys have grandkids or anything. Do I love the way she takes care of our kids or grandkids or people in the community, or the way she cooks or the way she does whatever? Change what you're focusing on to not be this outward, this is how she looks right now, and I'm not happy with how she's handling her health. Instead, remind yourself of all of the things you both have enjoyed and shared together over the years, and what you love about her and what she does now that brings a smile to your face. And if those things are few and far between, then focus on what it used to be and talk with her about, how do we get back to that place? I think one thing that women have a hard time understanding from their husbands is that sexual intimacy is a deep connection that a husband feels with a wife. And I think a lot of times wives just put men in a category that, okay, my husband is aroused, he wants sex, I'm his wife, I'm the only person he's legally allowed to do this with, morally, biblically, whatever. And so because of that, he'll have sex with me because he needs that desire met. But I think wives don't understand that a husband wants to connect with her, and this is how he does this. He connects with her through sex. And so making that really, really clear to your wife is so important. Verbally saying it, sharing it out loud, being open about it, because as a man, you might be just thinking in your mind, like, why doesn't she want to connect with me? Like, why doesn't she want to have sex? And that means she's like, why doesn't she want to be intimate with me and connect with me and bond with me? And a wife without her husband verbally saying that, doesn't necessarily see sex that way. She might just see you getting your needs met. It would be no different than you're hungry right now and there's a burrito in front of you and that's the only thing around, so you're going to eat it. But if there was pizza in front of you, you might take that as well. It's really important that a wife understands that her husband is looking to connect with her, not just meet a sexual desire. So those are some things for you to think about and to try and open this discussion with her. I definitely wouldn't just start with sex, right? I would start with, what kind of golden years do you want to have with me? What kind of life are you hoping for as we are entering our retirement years and these years that we've worked hard for to enjoy with one another? What do you see? Here's my hope. Here's my goals. How are we working on this together? And in that, you can talk about, I really hope that we can increase our intimacy. What does that look like for us? More conversation, more dates, more travel, more sex, more connection. I don't know, whatever you both really love. And find out from her, like, what are the things that I do, that we do together, that I feel really connected, that you feel really connected to me. Wives want connection. They don't always get that connection through sex. Generally, they feel connected and then they desire more sex, right? Yes, of course, there's biology here. There is, I want sex. Some women have very high drive, they have a spontaneous drive. So do some men have responsive drives. It's not just men, women, but I do know that a lot of women need to feel connected, to want to surrender themselves sexually. Now, I'm going to tell you, she probably doesn't feel sexy. If she's put on a lot of weight and she doesn't feel great and she has health problems, women often need to feel sexy to want to have sex, right? And so what can she do to change that? Maybe there is some self-care that she can do that will help her feel more like herself. What space do you need to give her? What things do you need to help support her and encourage her to do it? So thanks for joining me today. I know this was kind of heavy, it's really hard to be in that position where you are watching your spouse age, you're aging, and you just know that you only have so many years left on this life together and you want to make the most of it. So I encourage you to share that with her in a gentle way, in a team way. We're in this together. I want to do the rest of life together with you, and these are my hopes for that. Thanks for joining me today. I'll chat with you guys later.